Okay. What is the GCD? The GCD, and we did this the other day when we wrote it down. The GCD, hold on, there it is. The greatest common divisor of a set of natural numbers is the largest natural number that divides into every number. Okay? Write that down. You don't have to write down all the words. Just write down is the largest number that divides into every number. So if I give you two numbers, 25 and 30, what's the largest number that will go into 25 and 30? 5. So 5 is the GCD. It's the biggest number that will go into 5 and 30. Write that down. The greatest common divisor, GCD, of a set of natural numbers is the largest natural number that divides into those numbers.
Is that different than the greatest common factor?
Well, when the greatest common factor is what you factor out when we get into algebra. We'll get into that later. But it's the same, kind of the same thing. But the greatest common factor is not what we want. We want the least common multiple because that feeds into 5.3 with the common denominators. Okay? So just trust me on this. I'll get you through it, but you got to trust me on it. Next question, or next. It says determine the prime factorization of each number, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to, okay, here we go. Determine the greatest common divisor of, or the greatest common whatever, of 54 and 90. So we're going to go over here. I got to start my whiteboard up. Just write down 54 and 90. Let me start my whiteboard up. I thought it was already up, but the Russians turned it off. Y'all know them Russians are into everything, right?
Have you ever met anyone from Russia?
Yep, they probably in your house since you need to unlock your house. You shouldn't lock your house. That's awful.
Somebody going to take everything.
Yep.
I met people that are Greek.
Who's saying with no unlock?
Huh? Well, that's what you're supposed to do. If you have an open border, you should leave your doors unlocked.
Okay.
All right. $54 and 90. Here we go. 54 and 90. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. Give me a number that will go into 54 and 90.
9.
I don't see a 9 up here.
Oh, sorry, just kidding. 3.
No, that's all right. I expect that. 2.
I just not paying attention.
You could probably say 3 because 3 will go into 9. Yes. But I'm going to use 2 because 2 is easy for me. 2 will go into 54 27 times. And 2 will go into 90 what? 45 times. Now what? 3 will go into those 2. 3 will go in there 9 times. 3 will go in there 15 times. 3 again. Good. 3 and 5. And at this point, the real math stops. So I'm going to take another color. Dang on, I don't want to mention another clash. Let's go with blue. Right here. Real math stops. When the real math stops, you now have the greatest common divisor. Greatest common divisor equals 2 times 9 is what?
Oh, you said 2 times 9, 18.
Yeah, 3 times 3 is what? 9. So I got to erase these arbitrary. Okay. So the greatest common divisor is 18. So 18 is the largest number that will what?
Going above the numbers.
Largest
All 3 of them.
number that will go into 54 and 90? Without a remainder, yes.
You multiply them all.
So let's do that. 18 will go into 54. How many times? Maybe 3 times? 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3, but you got a 2 left over from 24, so that's 5. Look there. It's a miracle. And will 18 go into 90? 5 times? 5 times 8 is 40, bring you 4. 5 times 1 with the 4 is 9. Look there. It's a miracle. So 18 is the largest number that will go into 54 and 90. Now, we're going to keep on going though. Why? Because not only do we want the greatest common divisor, we also want the least common multiple. And what is the least common multiple? Well, we're going to write that down. I'm going to move forward and you can write down the least common multiple. And also, I want you to highlight the least common multiple because that's more important. Because that will go into 5.3. The least common multiple is the number, the smallest number that the two numbers will go into. Now, in our case, it was 54 and what, 90? Okay, so I need a number, the smallest number that 54 and 90 will go into. It's going to be a big number, but it's going to be small because it's the smallest big number you can get. It'll make sense in just a minute, okay? The least common multiple is the smallest number. See the word smallest? The smallest number that is divisible by those two. And it'll make sense in just a minute.
By the element set.
The smallest number, no, it's the smallest number that the two numbers will go into or divide into. It'll make sense. Once you see me do the example, you'll understand. A whole lot better than looking at the definition. I just want to see if they use the same two numbers. Yep, they do. So we can do it here. Okay? So I'm going to find the greatest common divisor, and then I'm going to find the least common multiple. And this is a good practice for you to get into, no matter what it's asking for, because practice makes what?
Perfect.
Perfect. Everything's free. All right, so here we go. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. And I've got 54 and 90. Okay, I want everybody in here to find the greatest common divisor. Go ahead and do that. We just did it. So you can just copy your notes or you can do it over. Are you going to make it through the class tired?
I think we'll make it.
You going to make it? I want to make sure because you're back there by yourself. I don't want you to fall out of the chair.
No, never. I'm actually doing pretty good today. I'm pretty alive today.
Ma'am?
I said I'm pretty alive today. I
Well,
think
you said
today's
you were
good.
tired at the beginning of the class.
I am tired, but see, for me, there's degrees of tired, and I'm on a good degree.
You're going to
That
make
don't
a good
make
wife.
I
Because you
can't tell if
say
you're
one
being
thing and you what? Mean another. More power to you. Such a female. Say one thing, mean another. That's a joke. It's a joke. Trying to have a little
I'm
fun.
offended.
Or you say one thing and do the opposite.
Yeah. That's a man. All right. So I'm going to do 2 and 54, 27, and 45. And 3, 9, 15. And 3, 3, and 5, and boom. Real math stops. Take my handy dandy red marker and put The red line right there, real math stops. Somebody tell me why the real math stops.
Because it can't go in anything else.
Because no number will go into 3 and 5 because they're both what? They're both prime. So I've found my greatest common divisor. My greatest common divisor is equal to 2 times 9, 2 times 3 times 3, which is 2 times 9, which is 18. And we said that a while ago. That's our greatest common divisor. Now I'm going to keep going using magic math, and all I want is ones across the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to take my blue marker, and I'm going to keep going, and if it's divisible, that's great. If it's not divisible, you're just going to bring it down. So pick a number, 3 or 5?
3.
5. So I put a 5 here. Will 5 go into 3? No, so you just bring it down. Will 5 go into 5? All right, there's one of my ones. But I'm not done yet because I don't have ones across the bottom. So what's the only number I can pick now? 3.
1.
And 3 will go into 3 one time. There we go. And the 1 comes down because, and there you're done. Now you have the least common multiple. Now, this is not too bad because you got a 10 in there, and most all of you can multiply by 10. Why? Because you can just add a 0, right? 27 times 10 is 270. 36 times 10 is 360. Okay, so leave the 10. I'm going to take my handy-dandy highlighter, and I'm going to highlight that 10. 2 times what? 2 times 5. I'm just going to highlight that and put it in the back of my brain. Now, what's 3 times 3 times 3? 27. What's 27 times 10? It's a miracle. 27 times 10 is 270. Now, somebody tell me what 270 is, and don't say it's the least common multiple because that's not what I'm asking. What is 270?
The smallest number that goes.
Okay, let's check it. 54 will go into 270, and 54 will go into, I'm sorry, I just did it, sorry, pass average. 90 will go into 270. So 90 will go into 70. Well, this one's easy. How many times will 90 go into 270? 3 times. It's a miracle.
3 times 3.
So how many times will 54 go into 270?
3 times.
Shouldn't be the same. Be 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, bring you 2. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27. Look there. It's a miracle. Now that is the least common multiple. Now, I'm going to take a break right here, and I'm going to show you something that's real neat. Okay? We're going to skip a section. We're just going to, you don't even have to write this down, okay? Because we're going to do it in 5.3. But let me go to a page, a white page. Let me get there. Hold on just a second. No, I don't want to.
Why are we dividing?
Okay. All right. I'm going to write down 2 numbers, but I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to, hold on your questions. I'll get your questions in just a minute. All right. Here's what we do in 5.3. 1 over 54 plus 3 over, what was the other word, 90, is equal to. Now that's 2 what? Fractions. That's 2 fractions, right?
Good
So most of you will quit and go to the next problem. All right? Now you don't have to. Now you go over here and you say 54 and 90. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. Don't write this down, because I want you to watch. Okay? We just do what we just did. All I care about is the least common multiple. I don't care about the greatest common divisor. So I'm going to go all the way down until I get ones. 2, we're going to 54. Let's see, 27 and 45. 3, we're going 27 9 times. 15. 3, we're going there 3 times, 5 times. 3, we're going 1 time and 5. 5, 1, and 1, and I'm done there. I have my greatest common factor. 10 times 27 is 270. So my common denominator is 2 what?
70.
Now somebody that didn't know what they were doing would go over here and say, oh, I got to multiply those two denominators together. 90 times 54. 54 is 0. 9 times 4 is what? 36. Bring 3. 9 times would be 480, whatever. Okay, 448, what? 9 times 4 is 36. 90, 4860. Well, what's wrong with that? Well, that's too big of a number to work with. So then you got to depend on what? Your calculator. Okay? That's why people can't do fractions. People can't do fractions because they can't do common denominators. People can't do algebra because they can't do fractions. People can't do calculus because they can't do algebra. Does everybody see where I'm going with this? Fractions are the basis. Fractions are the basis for all the mathematics that you learn. Okay, so if you always sucked at algebra or you always sucked at blah, 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 it's probably because you sucked at fractions. Okay? And here's the good part. Now this is really neat. You don't even need a calculator. You just take your, over here and you say, how many times will 54 go into 270? Well, go over here and mark out the 54. What's 54? 6 times what? 6 times 9. 6 times what? 9. How many times? Ain't that neat? 5 times 1 is 5. How many times will 90 go into 270? What is 90? 9 times what? 10? So 9 times 10. How many times? 3 times. 3 times 3 is what? So your answer is what? 14 over 270. And you can reduce if you need to. That's not the point. The point is, if you don't learn how to do least common multiple, then you don't know how to do the common denominator. And a lot of people say, well, I got through common denominators. Yeah, you probably got through by multiplying them together. Like 1/3 plus 3/5. And yes, 1/3 times 3 plus 3/5, yes, you do, because they're both prime. These two are not prime. What kind of numbers are these two numbers right here? They're a composite, which means that you have to use the least common multiple. You don't just multiply them together, because that'll give you a BA denominator, which will be hard to convert because you have to lean on the calculator. Or you have to go over and do all this math over here that you don't need to do. So that's why people need to learn how to do the least common multiple. If you learn how to do the least common multiple, you can do any fraction put in front of it. A lot of people don't realize that. But, you know, pushing yourself, motivation, and poor decisions, we don't need to worry about that stuff. We just have other people pay your bills for you. Yeah. How about that?
Everything's free.
They shouldn't be rich, because rich is bad. I never heard such crap. And she goes, well, there's kids that's homeless. Well, there's ways to take care of homeless people. It sure ain't California's way. They worry about straws and paper receipts, and they got the #1 population of homeless and drug addicts out in California. But they're worried about paper receipts and straws. They're trying to get rid of straws. That's what they're worried about.
Wow.
And like in California, you have to pay to get a bag, like a plastic bag
Yep.
or something.
That's
You have to pay
bad.
like a quarter or something.
I give them for free.
I'm just telling you, it's interesting. Okay, so that's the solution, and you see they do it a different way, so don't do it their way, because if you do it their way, you're going to get what? Confused. You're going to get confused. So don't do it that way. All right, let's go and do a problem. I ain't going to do any of these because that's just stuff that we don't need to worry about. Trying to get to an example, which I don't think they're doing that. They're still sticking to that Fermat's theorem. Oh, Lord, it's useless. It's useless. Nobody in this room is going to use Fermat's theorem. I disagree with the book on that one. So let's go back and let's make up some problems.
Yay.
Okay? Because I want you to at least get 3 or 4 in your notebook so you can do the homework, and I only got like 5 minutes to teach all the stuff.
50 minutes.
Yeah. Gotta love these 50-minute classes. It's the Russians that did it. They want to take over the world.
I have
Okay.
an English class at Pendleton, and I swear it's longer than 50 minutes.
Well,
Bye-bye.
it must be on Tuesday and Thursday.
It is.
Yeah, Tuesday
And
and
it's
Thursday is an
forever
hour and a half.
long.
Monday and
That's dumb.
Wednesday used to be an hour and a half here, but now it's not because Pendleton threw a little temper tantrum and wanted their way.
I be almost asleep.
All right, so let's do 12
Huh?
and 136. I want the greatest common divisor, and I want the least common multiple. Now remember, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. And if you can't do it, Miss Simmons, that means you're a failure.
We've been on that.
Okay. Well, good. You know, one thing about solving problems is admitting that you what?
Wrong.
Admitting that you have a problem or admitting that you are who you are. So that's a good thing. Y'all know I actually had somebody complain to my bosses that I called them a loser.
I
Yep.
love them for that.
I picked them out and I called them a loser.
Well, did you?
No, I was just having fun in the class.
What?
My kid, I told you my daughter is a junior at Clemson, sorry. And every once in a while she might get a bad grade, like on a homework or something that she really didn't do. She makes good grades. She'll send me a picture of the grade, and then under it she'll have a picture of Squidward in the cardboard box when he lost his job. So I raised my kids to have a sense of humor. People should raise their kids to have a sense of humor.
That's true.
If you did it wrong, then you're a disappointment.
Oh,
Oh,
oh no.
Yep. How many disappointments we got?
A lot.
A lot?
All of them.
A whole lot of them.
change my name on the paper to disappointment.
I changed it to tired.
That one's probably, they're about 50-50. 50-50 disappointment and then 50 tired.
I did it wrong. I know I did.
I did it wrong. So you're a disappointment too.
Whatever. I don't care.
Damn.
Anybody need a pillow or a puppy?
Yeah, both.
Okay. 2, 3, 5. Which one will go into both? Right off the bat.
2.
2.
Two.
Put a 2 right there. It'd be a 6 and a what? Well, 2 will go into 13 6 times.
68.
Leave 16, 68. What will go into 6 and 68?
2.
2. 2 will go in there 3 times. 2 will go in there 30 what? Ding, ding, ding,
Oh.
ding.
Okay.
The real math what?
Stop.
Real math stops because that's the prime number. The only number that'll go into that is 3, and 3 won't go into 34. So you know the real math stops. So your 4 is your greatest common divisor. And you feel good about yourself. So you don't have to carry around a jug of water.
Oh.
Dang old milk jug, y'all seen that before? We won't even go there. Water bottles, but I have to carry around a milk jug full of water. All right, so I'm going to take my blue marker. What number will go into 3?
3.
So it gives me a 1. Hey, I got a 1, but I got to bring this what? Down. Now I got to focus on the 34. So just bring this 1 down because nothing will go into 1. So you just bring that down to here. Okay, just bring that down. All right? 2 or what will go into 34?
2.
2 will go in there how many times?
17.
17, and then 17 is a prime number. So now I got my 1s, and this is my least common multiple. What's 17 times 2? 34. What's 34 times 2? 68. What's 68 times 2? 136. And I think 136 times 3, I think that's the one I left out, right? Yeah. 136 times 3, 18, bring you 1. 136 times 3 would be 0. 408, somebody check my math.
That's what I got too.
And that is your least common multiple. Somebody check my math. Multiply 17 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Check to see if you get 408.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you get it all the way wrong or just half wrong?
Half.
Okay, then you're only half a loser. Or half a disappointment.
I have a
Improve.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I did like the 2, and then the 3, and then I stopped at 34, but I got the same answer. Is that okay or not?
Well, what did you get for greatest common divisor?
4.
I don't see how you did that if you included the 3 into the...
Well, I moved the 3 down, so when I did
Okay,
the
if you
least
moved it
common multiple.
down, then yeah, you're just doing it a little bit different.
All right, I won't do it different next time.
It's up to you, just so long as you don't get messed up.
Well, I read your pet peeves, and you said not to do that.
Not well, okay, I'm sorry. Anybody got another question? How about you, tired loser?
I'm okay,
Yeah.
I think.
Did you get it both right?
No, sir.
Okay, that's real sad.
I got GCD right.
You got what?
The GCD, greatest
Well,
common
good.
divisor.
Well, that's good. You got it half right, so you're only half a disappointment. Half a loser.
Hey, that's improvement.
Yeah, that is. Let's do a nerd. I think I'm redneck because I said nerd. You're only redneck if you know how to spell it. Nerd.
ENERO.
Oh, listen at her. I knew she would start spelling it. Like everybody. How about 36 and 144? I would just quit. Too difficult.
chips.
Hmm?
Oops, that's not right.
So what number are you gonna divide first? 2, you get 18 and what?
72.
I'm sorry, 72. I don't know what I was thinking of.
Now you can call him a loser.
72. And what can go into 18 and 72?
Trace.
9 and what? What will go into 9 and 36? 3. 3 and 12. What will go into 3 and 12? 1 and 4. And real math what?
Stop.
Real math stops on this one. No yawning in class.
I'm sorry.
And that's all right. If you yawn again, I have to throw you out. So, that's a joke. 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, and 1. We've got our two numbers, so this is your least common multiple, and the red will be your greatest common what?
Factor.
Factor. So somebody do the math on that. I'll erase these two. Let's see. 4 times 9. What is 4 times 9? 36. And what's 36 times 4? 144?
144.
There's your two answers. Now, let's see if we progressed. How about it, Easley? Did we progress or did we digress?
Slightly.
I think we stayed the same.
Oh, my Lord. It's going to be a while. This class is going to be, it's going to be a long
We
class.
slightly progressed.
Okay. Slide. Okay, what about you, Oconee?
Let's just say we went to West Tech. I'm just kidding. We're good.
Okay, so you digressed. If you got this one a little bit more right, then it's probably a little progression. Okay? You said you got it right, didn't you? Okay. So that means we are improving, right?
C.
Okay. Now, see what time it is, because we only have 5 minutes. So,
It's time to go.
say, of course. So, we get 2 problems done, and it's time to go. Love this 50-minute schedule. All right, now y'all can start working on finish working 5.1. You should be able to finish it, okay? We will do some more of these when y'all come back Friday, okay?
Yes, sir.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
You too, sir.
And tired loser, you keep progressing, okay?
I'm going to keep progressing.
Good. We don't want you to digress.
Never.